We're supposed to talk about boat stuff, believe it or not. Boat stuff. Yeah.
Do we have to have our pinkies out?
No, I'm not talking about that kind of boat stuff. I'm talking about other kind of boat stuff.
Oh, like funny boats?
Funny boat stuff. Go fig. Alrighty, welcome aboard the Funny Boat Podcast. I am your host, Captain Boomies. Ahoy, hoy.
Ahoy.
With me is the fabulous, the wonderful, the very bearded, the broker with the beard, Ed Pickering. How you doing, Cap?
I am doing fantastic, Captain Boomies. How about yourself?
I'm so good. Honestly, this season has begun. It feels hectic as all get out. I cannot breathe for how much,
I know, right?
it's absolutely bonkers. And of course, if you are watching the video version of the podcast, you're noticing that Ed's thing has just jumped around on me. I thought I had solved this problem, but he's just gonna, flex around a little bit, and you're all just gonna deal with that.
It's springtime. I'm moving. I'm doing something.
It's so funny. I'm just gonna have to give up on this though, because it's very distracting.
Yeah, well, hey.
It's not very nautical. It's not very ship shape, and I can't exactly tolerate it. So I'll just cry about it some other time when I know how all this technology works. Speaking of, I've been delivering a lot of very high tech boats lately.
Yes, tell.
Oh, man. So, and I've been posting about it on the internet, and now the internet loves me, and I'm a little annoyed about it because these boats are so high tech that, I'm just embarrassing myself the whole time because I get on board, and it's a big, hurry up and do all these things, and then drive this boat away really quickly. But the boats are they get to me, and they're not in English, first of all. So all of the settings, I'm having to work with them in another language, and then the computers don't always talk to each other right away, or they haven't been linked together quite right. So it's great to have Skyhook, which is that very fancy press a button and it knows its GPS location and it holds the boat perfectly in place, and
nice.
It's very magical and makes being a captain too easy. Everyone's real impressed with me, and I'm like, you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
However, when that's not hooked into the GPS, it's pretty worthless. And you don't find that out until,
surprise. It's got all this stuff, but we haven't paid for it yet. So
no. So my job is to get it to the people that actually do set all of that stuff up and really know what they're doing, and actually load charts on it and things like that. That would be helpful when you're navigating.
Helpful things.
So I always have a backup. In fact,
That's
look at
right.
this. We're being helpful right now. I'm actually going to give some good boating advice and tell people that they absolutely need to have some kind of backup for their tech on board.
That's right.
Spare charts is always a good idea.
Well, I happen to use Argo as my backup.
Look at that. Was that
I sent.
That was
You're welcome. You're welcome, Jeff.
Oh my God, maybe somebody should actually sponsor us here since we're so good at leading into products.
Yeah, redundancy.
That was a fabulous product read. I don't know. I think we're getting good at this podcasting thing.
Whoa.
As I adjust your picture again. It's so bad. I'm giving up. Okay. Anyway, but I've been having a lot of fun with these very new boats, but I've been getting a lot of flack for it as well, because
from who?
Oh, the internet. They're mean. They're mean to me. They're really nice to this podcast, but
right. Well, yeah. Last episode you said you liked the mean ones.
Okay, I do like them. It's true. I am having way too much fun talking to these people.
Oh, you
I
engage with them as
do. I
well.
engage with the trolls. It's such, you're not supposed to feed the critters, but I do it anyway. And yes, the meaner ones though tell me about how ungraceful I am. And I'm like, yeah, I
What?
agree. I'm not like that was actually the point of the video was look at how terrible I am at this part of getting on and off of boats. Um, I had somebody tell me that I clearly shouldn't be a captain anymore because I can't climb a Jacob's ladder. Clearly.
Clearly.
So I'm going to take up I'm going to become a magician, I've decided.
Oh,
Seems
very
like a good
nice. A little
career
teleportation.
transition, if I do say so myself. I was trying to figure out how to be a nautically themed magician, though.
Mm.
And so far, I came up with some really terrible gags having to do with but they're all magician drinking water ones. And I was trying to see if I could do like my boat is my maybe I'm a ventriloquist. Maybe
Hmm.
that's what I'm really bad at this. But basically I was going to try to sink a ship on stage. That was my big
Oh,
thing.
gotcha.
And clearly it's already failed because normally you're excited about everything I talk about and you are so underwhelmed right now. That's
I'm trying to picture all of this at the same time with a Jacob's ladder and the pilot boat and the stage. I'm
no.
wondering at where does the sequin jacket come into
Oh,
play? There's so many
so many
things.
things. So
So
many
many
things.
things.
But
Mm.
oh man. Yeah.
Mm. So you said they come in different languages. We get I come across boats primarily it's French and German that you'll see all the little breakers and acton
Yeah.
and whatever the French is. But is that what you
I
typically
get
see
German and
language wise?
Italian a lot.
Oh, Italian.
Yeah, the Italian ones are. I've gotten good at it though. I've gotten good at figuring out which bits in Italian are the bits that I need. I'm not sure why I it's all the same, right? So as soon as you start getting good at one, like it's all good. But then they like upgrade the following year and then it's all different again.
Oh yeah.
The worst is when you think you've changed the language and you've done it on like just the displays. And then you switch over to whatever, there's these new complicated things for managing the helm station itself. So the
Mm-hmm.
communication between whatever drive system you have and the helm and the trim system and all that stuff. And then you go to like engage whatever, you drop the trim down and it's yelling at you in a language and you're like, oh no. Like I thought I fixed this. And that display is so much smaller. So like trying to figure that out on the fly while you're pressed up against the boat, the ship, the
Right.
giant cargo ship that brought this boat over, and you're supposed to be drifting away from it, and you are not.
Right. And they're yelling at you, go, go, we got the next guy, and he's coming, and you gotta
Yeah,
go.
timing is a big factor there. They have a lot of opinions on it. Fortunately, they also are not in English usually, so so I'm able to ignore it pretty well.
Right.
No, that's not true. All those crews do speak English, just usually not very well.
But they yell in a
Yeah,
different
pretty
language.
much.
They speak English. They yell in something totally different. But that's okay. I yell back, and everybody's confused.
You know what though? They all get like sailor tattoos though, which surprises me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
the
longshoremen?
longshoremen. They all have like anchor tattoos and stuff. And I've always thought I'm missing out a little bit because I don't have any I don't have any tattoos, but I specifically
Yeah.
don't have anything nautical. Do you have tattoos?
I, 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 I do not have any ink
How'd you
yet.
get away with that? Weren't you? You were at Kings Point.
Yeah, you would think I would. Yeah, you would think I'd have something hiding somewhere, but no, nothing. Not yet. But I do want, but I can't decide
It's
what.
hard. It's really hard to figure this whole thing out. I
What?
know which tattoos I hate.
Oh,
Um, I I'm gonna get in so much trouble. I've got all these sailors that are gonna be mad at me. I do not like the pig and chicken. Um,
well, see, I was gonna go with the pig and chicken from Moana, uh, and get hey hey and whatever the pig. Go the whole Disney route.
honestly, I'd respect the heck out of it if you did that.
The committee has said no to that one.
Oh yeah, you've got people that'll have
Yeah.
opinions on that one. Oh goodness gracious. So yeah, I don't like the pig and chicken. I know that it's supposed to be. It's like a very nautical, like oh, you know.
So when the sailing ship would crash or sink or whatever, typically the pigs, great swimmers, chickens, also great floaters, they would survive. So the idea was if you had a pig and chicken tattoo, then you're gonna
Are
see. I've done a lot of the nautical stuff that traditional tattoos would go for, like the international date lines to Hawaii.
what's the tattoo for
You
that? I
know,
don't know.
so a little Hawaiian girl, hula
Oh,
girl.
I didn't know that's
The
what that was.
international date line is like the Golden Dragon.
Okay.
If you've been to Far East, and naval service is like cross cannons, or merchant service is an anchor. So many thousand miles. I think like every 5,000 miles sailed, it's supposed to be like the Swallow or the Bluebird or something like
Yeah,
that.
I don't actually know
A
what
lot of
the
different.
mileage is on the swallows, but it's
Yeah,
I know that
but
I do a few of them, but
yeah, I would have like a flock.
I just don't like I don't
But
like swallows enough, and birds aren't real, so
yeah, they're just miniature drones leaving chemtrails throughout the sky.
oh no, we should be that podcast. You know they exist, I'm sure.
Conspiracies. I saw this comedian, and the guy's like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and it's okay if you're not, but you don't believe in any conspiracy theories? Because I have a kid and I lie to him all the time, and you think the government's not lying to?
It's true. I do love the Santa conspiracies. If I had kids, my kids would be that kid that's like 14 years old and still believes in Santa. It'd be really bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they'd be
Wait,
so screwed up.
wait a minute. What are you trying to say? What do you? Don't say that.
Oh, he's real. He's totally real.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay. I'm gonna
He
be him in
brings
a
all
couple of
the
years.
good little sailors.
Pigs and chickens for
Chickens for
everybody.
everybody.
Oh my goodness. I think the biggest thing with the tattoos though is, the first one is, so important. Like you want it to be this monumental thing with all this meaning. And then it seems like that once you do it once, then it's like, oh yeah, I got another one. Oh, I picked up another one. Oh, I got another one over here. And
Yeah, people get addicted. Have
yeah,
definitely seen that. So if you,
I could probably fall under that trap myself, I guess, but
eh,
I don't know.
I don't know. You seem like
Mm.
a reasonable human.
Yeah,
I've been wrong before, but like,
yeah, well, chalk up another one.
jeez. Anyway, so that's what I've been up to. I've basically been sailing around quite a bit. I've got my sailboat racing teams are
Ooh,
in it
nice.
deep now. We're finishing up like
Ooh.
our first series of races, and it's been good. but I have been terrible.
Oh.
Like,
So let's talk series. How many series in a summer?
I think
Or
most of them have 3. So there's usually the
okay, three
early, mid, and
series.
late.
Okay, and how many are in your like? I've been committee boat many a times, but I was usually passing out drinks and cooking hot dogs and hamburgers, so I didn't pay attention to the sailing part. Um, so when you're racing, like how many are in your group or heat or whatever, and how are what's your team placing at?
So I have 2 different types of sailing that I do. So one of them
Mm,
is a fleet of identical boats with they're all J22s, fun little boats.
mm-hmm,
They're just like oversized dinghies.
mm-hmm.
And that is a fleet of, I think, 12 boats, or maybe it's more than that. It
Okay.
might be more than that. I wasn't paying enough attention, if I'm honest with you,
Mm.
because I just get to guest star on that team.
Oh,
Um,
featuring Captain Boomies.
they're very kind to me because I just can't make my schedule work well enough to hang with them all the time. But my
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday night team is a perf team, meaning PHRF. It gets shortened down to perf if you're a sailor, and it's
Mm.
basically they give you a handicap system. So whatever your boat is has a score, and that score impacts your final time after all is
Gotcha.
said and done.
Adding on or
Yes,
subtracting, and you can come in first, but really come in last, and all this other stuff.
exactly.
It's like soccer. 90 minutes, but maybe more, maybe not. We'll see.
Well, so that team has been pulling off some miracles, though. Not
Nice.
doing well, mind you. Just
Oh,
like we lost a halyard and our
no.
spinnaker,
Oh, I did
our
see that one.
big poofy sail, the big colorful one that sailboats have when they're
Mm-hmm.
going downwind, fell in front of the boat and ended up under our keel, and my crew is having to like
Oh,
frantically fish it out before it catches on something it really shouldn't catch on. And those things are expensive. They're thousands of dollars when
yeah.
so terrifying.
Ooh.
And we've just had like episode after episode of that. like
Oh,
something exploded. Now we have to recover
hmm.
from it. And the
Nice,
recoveries
nice.
have been so good, and I'm so impressed with these people. I have been absolutely worthless, but that's, you know. But
Well,
I
yeah,
I bring beer. So
not totally worthless.
now I also have access to a guy that fixes things, so that actually makes
Yes, you
me
do.
that makes me pretty valuable to them. Yeah,
Yes. I saw the video. He was doing the little coconut tree scramble up there to get the halyard. I was quite
we had to
impressed.
send him up the mast, and it had to be
Mm-hmm.
him because nobody else can actually climb the mast. And I don't trust any of our rig on that
Right.
boat. So whoever goes up
Oh,
has
also
to be
good.
able to hold themselves in the event of an emergency.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, my husband doesn't like uh, small boat racing. He will only do voyage races.
Oh.
And I don't know. I mean, I kind of understand why. There's something very romantic about voyage racing, and there's
Hmm.
something very shouty about about going around the cans on Tuesday night.
I'm guessing give way is something that you hear. Give way!
Starboard! Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Prepare! Brace
No,
yourself!
it's I get it. It's intense on a level
Yeah.
that which is okay. I know why he doesn't like it, because the intensity doesn't match the activity. So it's like
Right.
you're just circling around the harbor. Why are you being so intense about this? You're not crossing oceans to beat like this
Yeah.
other giant ship, and like, you know,
It's not as
it's
romantic.
not. Oh, my husband's such a romantic. He's so
Yeah.
cute. God, I love that guy.
No. Yeah, he's all right. He's okay.
I know what you're really thinking. You love him too.
I do. I'm not shy about that.
Oh man, but speaking of characters that we love,
Oh,
I'm trying to get invited up to Oak Cliff next. Speaking of sailing and characters that we love. So Dawn Riley was one of the women on the big intense Whitbread round the world race where they put together the first ever all women team.
okay.
And she opened this sailing Mecca. I keep using that word. I'm going to pick a different word. I'm going to call it a sailing temple. It's like practically the Temple of Doom, though, because they're so intense.
Nice.
They do everything, and they do it with it's like a master's degree it's a PhD in extreme sailboat racing.
And a big boulder comes rolling down.
And chases you in your sailboat.
Okay, cool.
Down the Long Island
Perfect.
Sound.
I totally get it.
And it's very, very cool stuff. And they reached out to me because I said I'd never done foiling somewhere on the internet.
Oh.
And they have this whole zero to hero foiling program.
Zero to
Yes.
hero.
I'm calling it hero, but I
Very
think they
nice.
called it something else entirely. They're like zero to maybe able to do it.
Zero to slightly competent.
Because I don't know how hard it is. I've never had access to one of these boats, and I've really wanted to do it on a power boat because those look absolutely bonkers. Those foiling power boats, have you seen these?
Yeah.
They make no sense to me,
Yes.
which is why I want them.
Well, we even saw the guy with like the little surfboard at the DC show, right? He was foiling around like a foil.
Yeah, like a foil.
Like a foil.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I was just waiting for him. It was a lot like NASCAR. I was just waiting for him to get wet, fall down.
He
But
didn't, and he
do
was
it.
carrying a drink around. That guy was amazing.
Yeah, I was like very
That's
impressed.
very impressive.
Goals.
Life goals.
Life
man.
goals.
I want to look impressive while flying above the water. Above.
That's the one. So with the sailboat racing, America's Cup, it's all going foil and crazy money and all that stuff. Yeah, it looks like you have a very small degree of error allowed, and then you're
And then
not
you
foiling very quickly.
hard not foiling.
You go from hero to zero pretty quickly.
Hard not foiling. Yeah, so I'm a little terrified that I'm gonna break somebody's boat that I can't fix because my husband's too far away.
He's like, yeah, I'm out.
But I still really want to just experience it because it's just I've gotten to drive all kinds of weird boats with different propulsion systems and helm setups, and I really this is the only one that I haven't gotten to get access to. That and the garbage boat in Baltimore Harbor. Did you know that thing is all hydraulic? Like everything, all the propulsion systems are hydraulic.
Wow.
All of the arm grabby, the garbage things are hydraulic. It's so weird.
Were we talking to somebody about? We were talking to somebody about the trash boat.
Yeah, we were.
Where was that?
Oh, you're gonna. Yeah, we're bad.
I don't remember now.
We should probably
but
keep notes or something, or maybe we should record it. I don't know, something like that. If somebody else remembers, go stick it in a comment somewhere. You can comment on our website, thefunnyboatpodcast.com. Actually, it's also funnyboatpodcast.com. I bought them all.
That's what I go with.
Funny
Funny boat. Funny boat podcast.
Also, we're on YouTube. I know I talked about how I was screwing up our little images earlier, but that's because you can see our smiling faces, our untattooed visages. Are
Currently untattooed.
currently untattooed. I'm gonna make Ed get a Funny Boat podcast tattoo.
Oh yeah, we should do that. We should do that.
No.
Yeah.
a terrible idea. Your wife will kill me.
Yeah, she will. She'll
Okay,
kill me.
okay. Well, and that'll be the end of the Funny Boat podcast.
Oh man. I'm just being.
All right, I'm good. I'm done.
You're done.
Let's get.
We've put them through enough today.
Our poor spouses. Oh God. All right. This has been the Funny Boat podcast. Bon voyage. Oh man. Yeah, it's commissioning season. I actually haven't even seen my husband in a while. Oh well, I'll miss him.